Greetings, all. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Been a short since I uploaded the video. A little bit busy trying to do some other things. But hope you enjoy the time off. Me pushing so much information at you, but hope you still trying to take that time off to relax. 5 or 10 minutes in the morning, 5 or 10 minutes in the evening. If you started even a year ago, you'll see that you're sleeping better and you're feeling better. And you're not letting the news affect your well-being. Well, not letting, it won't affect your well-being if you're looking at the sky like this. Because no matter whether there are clouds there, your mind is looking at those clouds saying, man, look at the shape of those clouds. Look how beautiful it is. Yesterday it was blue. Today, look at those clouds. You begin to learn a lot about the surroundings, about your earth, what it has done, and what it is doing. And you're going to see that the earth is dynamic and it reacts to what people does, what the trees do. Like if there were no trees on that mountain that you're looking at, there would be no clouds there. There would be no clouds there. The clouds would be on the opposite side of the mountain. Or actually, yeah, the clouds would be on the opposite side of the mountain because the water's there. And the rain would fall on the opposite side of the mountain. So, and I said that for a reason. Well, let me tell you that when you drop bombs on a place and destroy all the structures in it, trees and everything, what you do is expose the earth, and that's an area where the heat evaporates from faster, and it heats up more quickly when the sun is overhead. It heats up very quickly and it stays hot, and that heat keeps coming out of the earth there. When you have trees, I don't know if you ever noticed that you went on a tree, it was cooler than when you were outside the tree shade. And you'll see a tree in the middle of a, 50 feet area. And that tree is green and everything else around it, all the grass around it is dry. Because the tree is keeping moisture in the ground. So you should be learning a lot of things about what's going on in wars. Wars are happening. You should be learning all these things. Because these people's wars are destroying the countries that they're in, not just the people are dying, yes, but it's leaving the land dead. and the earth in that area is going to be in shock, just like you were. If a bomb fall close to you, how you were in shock. Your nerves keep feeling that and expecting. Every time you hear a bang, you expect another bomb to fall. The earth. Oh man. Anyway, I hope you've been keeping up with the economic situation, because some moves are being made that is going to affect you, the average African, maybe 98%, have no idea what's going to happen to him, what's about to happen. No idea. And his leaders are doing nothing to protect him. When I say his leaders, you have these traditions in Africa. The village chief, or governor, he's a traditional leader. They are traditional leaders. They're normally selected by the president, or they were selected long ago, like the kings. And then the country, the president allowed them to keep selecting those leaders. They would come from the same family. They will come, it's passed down family to family to family to family. And the only thing they do, they collect the taxes, don't educate their people. It's only when the African comes to the West, he understands the economics. But when he is in Africa, the only thing about economics is he understands he doesn't have a dollar or euro. He can't feed his family. And he's going to try to get that dollar by any means necessary. By any means necessary. If you are not around, he's going to take it from another African. And an African doesn't take, he takes whatever he can get. If he sees if you have $1 million in your house in Gambia, he will take every buto. And then when word gets around that somebody took $1 million buto from him, other Africans gonna come. They don't understand the economics. You will come to Africa, you will understand the economic system, but they will not understand the economic system. When I say they, I don't mean that 3% that operated. They operated to collect from the 98%, 97%. They take from that 97% to keep themselves in that 3%. Like you see in Nigeria, I watch Nigerian and the Ghanaian government heads of state. Watch them carefully and see what they do. How they operate is like a case study. When I say a case study, it's like a law study. When you watch the Supreme Court in the United States, it starts in the lower court. Lower court, your case doesn't come out correctly because of some technicality. The judge may hate you, hate your lawyer or something. You go to court, you go to the next step up. Then after that, you go to the next step up, next step, till you get to the Supreme Court. That 3%, it's just like what one so-called 1% in the Western world. So you will understand the economics. When I say you, I mean the diaspora. But the African, born in Africa. And when I say African, this is not being derogatory. We're all Africans. But I'm referring to those who are born on the continent. Or for that matter, whether you're born in Philippines, African, Indonesian African, or Indian African. Guyanese African, Trinidad African, Caribbean, Barbados. But one born in the continent, lack an education that is part of a major part of why he and she is in the condition that they're in. If you've been watching the economic news, like one of them, you see the U.S. just came out with some laws that says they can seize all of Russian assets. And when I told you to watch what happens in this war, if you didn't listen then, you're not listening now. I told you to stay out of it, because if you stay out of it, then you will see. When you're involved in a war, it's like you're struggling for one side or the other. So you're involved in it. You might be not getting shot at, but you're still, it's like you're in a boxing ring, you're watching a boxing match, and you find yourself every once in a while throwing a jab. That's the way it is. You playing basketball, and when the score, you throw up your hands just like you're shooting. That's the way it is. If you pay attention to yourself, you'll see that you're doing it. You know yourself. Anyway, now America used to seize the assets of little people. The last one they did the assets to was Gaddafi. When they went into Libya, they took everything. Not just Americans, but the British, the French. That's what the French, especially, what they do is go in the country and loot it. And the British, you can see the British economy is in such a state now that it's worse than some of the countries in Africa. And if you don't believe me, you better look at the economics in Britain. Every penny that you see Britain spend is borrowed. They're not selling arms as they used to. They're borrowing. They're borrowing money, sending the arms to Ukraine, because they expect Ukraine to repay the loans, and Ukraine won't be able to repay the loan if the war goes on, because the industry is gone. The only thing left is the grains that it can grow from the soil, and if the Russians start bombing the other parts of Ukraine, that is going to go too. England just got through paying off its loan to the slave masters who owned slaves in the Caribbean. when they got rid of slavery, supposedly African slavery, but they moved from African slavery to Indian African slavery. The black Indians that they call that come to the Caribbean and tell everybody, I is Indian, I is white. Those people that you have to look at them and laugh. You just walk away and leave them. Like me, you know. I had to look at one time because the idiot looked at me and said, look, you was my friend, but I wouldn't allow a black man to marry my daughter. That was the last time me and him had a conversation. I just look at him and laugh. Anyway, you see that now the U.S. against the argument of many people, economists, bankers, we're going to take Ukraine's money, Russians' money. And all the world's countries are looking at this and saying, hey, shoot, we're next. Because we didn't come in and criticize Russia. This is the reality now. So they are beginning to say, you know what, we're not buying U.S. debt. We are not investing the dollars that we have. What we're going to do is spend the dollars that we have in our infrastructure. We're not going to buy dollars to trade. We're going to use our local currency. That is going to affect your dollar. The things that you were spending $1 for in the coming years is going to cost you, like every 3 or 4 months or so. What is it now? It's down to every 100 days. $1 trillion more of debt is created in the U.S. That is inflating your money. So now you're spending $1 for something, 3 months, 100 days down the road, you're spending $1.20. Guess what's going to happen to these people who have went to Africa on your savings? And even those who are getting money from the U.S. that you have in the bank. And when the U.S. get to a point where they say, you know what, we got to stop money from going out of the country, bang, not paying attention. And the people, the YouTubers who are saying we are friends, we have a special relationship with the Africans, West Africans, they're not telling you this thing. They are not telling the African brothers these things. They're just using their dollar as bait to pull in Africans. This foolishness gotta stop, but they're not gonna stop it. It is you, the 20%, who are seeing this and want to help Africa, who are going to talk to your counterparts, that 20% of Africans who know you. And you're going to have to tell them, show them what's going on. And they are going to have to talk to their brothers in Africa. Otherwise, this thing is going to get bad. Really, really bad for Africans. I hope you comprehend what I'm saying. And if you don't believe me, use that thing in your hand or your iPad or whatever you use. Look at what you're seeing. I mean, there are people. There's this man called Mearsheimer, Professor Mearsheimer. There's a group of people called the Duran, Duran. These are people I never told you about before because listening to their information is kind of scary sometimes. Go listen to them, see what they're saying. Hope you are enjoying your day. You see, as the sky was cloudy when we started out here. See how it's changing? Anyway, the U.S. is now moving into the Philippines to challenge China. They're not moving in per se. They're putting weapons on Philippine soil. And when China comes, the Filipinos are going to get, they're going to feel it. One thing I'm seeing in Africa is that those countries that used to be ECOWAS in West Africa that kicked ECOWAS out are now flourishing. They're beginning to grow. The other day, Ghana and Nigeria moved their gold and dollar reserves from the US and France and Germany and England because they're now beginning to feel it. Their people are feeling it. And the governments, the leaders are so useless that the only thing that they're trying to do is get into BRICS so BRICS can help them. BRICS will send their representative to look at their economics and help them. That's one of the things that BRICS do. That's why you see Saudi is considered BRICS because Saudi has to look for, and the Saudis are just as, I mean, most of them went to US, they went to schools in the US, but they learn US economics. And there's a different, well, anyway, they learn US economics. How can you connect to the US system? The British system, really, because start Keynesian, oh well, you should know Maynard Keynes already if you went to college. So, study these things. Put it to work. Start now. I gotta tell the Africans, you got 3 years. If you didn't listen, you never got less than a year. And when it starts, it's gonna come fast. Like I said, less than 2 years ago, the U.S. wasn't thinking about seizing Russian assets. See how quickly they passed that law? Running out of money. Well, they were already run out of money, but because now the printing presses are on. But the Chinese now are not accepting money, $1 trillion. Now they're only keeping 600 billion. And they invest in that 600 billion to Belt and Road and their own infrastructure. These are the things that you're not paying attention to. And the Africans are definitely not doing it. All right. Have a great day wherever you are. Peace.